Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. As many people know, I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and there's a lot of things going on in this city. And I just want to take a few minutes to reflect on the events that are happening here and to provide my thoughts about the situation and my analysis. And I welcome your feedback and your comments. This morning, I started off my day by attending the funeral of Freddie Gray. And I just want to show you this pamphlet, this program for the funeral. It was a powerful and moving experience hearing these great men and women speak about Freddie Gray's life and just talk about the situation of police brutality in America. Reverend Dr. Jamal Bryant gave a powerful speech, and he drawed analogies between stories from the Bible and the situation of the black man and woman in America. And he quoted a great slogan by the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and that's the slogan of "Up, you mighty race." And that moved me. That gave me a sense of inspiration, and it inspired me to continue to be engaged, to continue to take part in this struggle of ours, this beautiful struggle for Black liberation. During this funeral, there were many great speakers. The attorney for the family spoke. Great politicians spoke. You had Elijah Cummings, the congressman, speak, and many other people speak. And they talked about the need for peace in the community. They talked about the need for justice, but they also emphasized the need for peace. They prayed for peace. They preached about peace. They talked about peace. But tonight, Baltimore doesn't know peace. Tonight, buildings are on fire in Baltimore because apparently that message of peace doesn't resonate with the masses of people who are out in the streets tonight. They didn't hear that message. If they heard it, they didn't accept it. They did not embrace it. And I understand why they haven't embraced that message. I understand why. See, we're taught that the police are supposed to protect and serve communities. But that is not the experience of the black man in America. These police don't protect and serve us. They oppress and harass us. They brutalize us. They kill us. And that's what they did to Freddie Gray. That's what I believe that they did to him. Of course, an investigation is still going on. But we saw the tape. We saw the police officers holding down his brother. We heard the brother screaming out in pain. We saw the police pick him up and put him in a paddy wagon. We saw that when they were picking him up, Freddie Gray couldn't even move his legs. He wasn't standing up. They had to hold him up. He was screaming for a reason. He was in pain. You can't tell me that something else caused his injuries. You can't tell me that he decided to break his own neck, sever his own spine. The brother was crying out for medical attention. And they waited and waited and waited. Eventually, the brother was in a coma, and eventually he died. This brother was only 26 years old. 26 years old. And he's dead. His life is snuffed out. So we're taught that police are supposed to protect and serve, but too often they kill our young men in the streets of America. The police are supposed to enforce the laws, not break the laws. So when you have a system that allows police officers to kill black people, to break laws regularly, the people have no reason to have faith in that system. The people have no reason to respect that system. They have no reason to have hope. They have no reason to believe in that kind of system. A system where we regularly see black men killed, whether it's Michael Brown in Ferguson or Oscar Grant in California, or a brother killed in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a sister shot in the back of her head in Chicago, an unarmed sister. All of these people are unarmed, and they end up dead. And we wonder why people don't believe in the system. See, when you don't believe in the system, you don't have any reason to respect the system's laws. You have no reason to respect the system's property. You have no reason whatsoever. When you have no hope, you take matters into your own hands. See, those young people, they've had it. They've had enough, and I don't blame them. They see that we have the appearance of progress, but we don't have progress in reality. We have these communities with high unemployment, communities that are devoid of opportunity, communities that are flooded with drugs and guns and violence, communities that go unnoticed, communities that are allowed to be neglected. So the people have had enough. Despite the fact that you have a black mayor in this city, you still have police brutality. Despite the fact that you have a black commissioner, police commissioner, you still have police brutality at the hands of white police officers. You still have police brutality. Despite the fact that you got a black president, you still have police brutality all over this country. And despite the fact that you have a black woman attorney general, you still have this police violence around the country. The people have had enough. They are speaking the language of the oppressed. Now, there's been a lot of news about gangs uniting to go after police. Uniting to go after police. That's what has been put out there in the media. See, as Frantz Fanon points out in his book, The Wretched of the Earth, he talks about how the oppressed express their frustration through violence. First, that violence is directed towards other oppressed people. So you have the phenomenon of so-called black-on-black violence, where the oppressed lash out at each other. But there are situations like this that wake up the sleeping giant, that bring the people back to their senses. It makes them realize that they got a common enemy, that they have a common problem, that they have a common situation, and they need a common solution to that situation. So they lash out the way they know how, through violence. See, maybe now people will pay attention to the situation in Baltimore. Maybe now they will consider the needs of the poor, of the oppressed, of the disenfranchised, of the unemployed. Maybe now they'll consider their needs. Maybe now the nation will wonder how to address the problem. Because until you have these acts of violence, the people are basically invisible. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about their pain. Nobody cares about their suffering. Nobody cares at all. See, these people, those people who are in the streets, they don't want to hear that old Negro stuff about praying, about being patient, about waiting out the situation. They've seen too often these police officers kill black people and get away with it. It's happened too often. And I can understand the rage. I truly do. Because when I looked at Freddie Gray today, when I saw his body in that casket, I understood the rage that people feel right now. When I saw his family members crying over his casket, I understood and I understand the rage that people feel. And as the attorney Billy Murphy pointed out, as he pointed out, the reason why so many people were there is because there are so many Freddie Grays out here. And people are determined to end this problem of police brutality. And the question is, where do we go from here? How will we finally end this problem? Although I understand the rage of the people, I don't think that burning down a CVS is going to end police brutality. In fact, these acts may give these police an excuse to kill more of our young people. But I understand the rage that produces these riots, that produces these rebellions. Instead of attacking the people who are in the streets, engaging in acts of rebellion, let's attack the system that created that violence. Let's attack the system that doesn't educate our young people. Let's attack the system that doesn't provide jobs in poor communities. Let's attack the system that only provides guns and drugs to our young people. Let's attack the system that incarcerates our young people at an unprecedented level. Let's attack that system instead of attacking these protesters. And how we can attack the system is with our money, by withholding our dollars, by boycotting the inner harbor. That way we can shut down businesses without throwing a brick, without lighting a fire, without breaking the law. We can shut down these businesses to send a message that we demand justice. They understand the language of money. In fact, they are more concerned about money than they are concerned about human life. So if we attack them with our dollars, we can make a difference. Also, we need to engage in militant acts of civil disobedience around the city until we have justice. Whether that means blocking off streets or blocking the entrance to key businesses and government facilities. We need to be willing to pay that price, be willing to be arrested to make a point. We need to engage in these acts until there's a special prosecutor and until there is a case brought against the officers who are responsible for the killing of Freddie Gray.